The universe, in its vastness, is disappearing. Not in a dramatic flash or a sudden collapse, but in the silent, slow erosion of everything that we know. Imagine standing under the endless night sky, staring at the stars, the millions of points of light that have existed for billions of years. Now, picture them all gradually fading away, not due to some cataclysmic event, but simply because the very fabric of space is stretching ever further, pulling galaxies and stars apart as if the universe itself is disassembling. What if the universe, this breathtaking expanse of stars and galaxies, is already dying and we can do nothing to stop it? What if everything we see, everything we touch, every bit of stardust that has traveled for eons to reach us, is slowly being erased, slipping further away into the abyss of nothingness? Dark energy, a force so mysterious that we can barely comprehend its existence, is the driving force behind this gradual erasure. It is the invisible hand pushing galaxies apart, accelerating the expansion of the universe at an ever-increasing rate. Scientists, for all their ingenuity and discovery, are still grasping at straws when it comes to understanding what dark energy truly is. They know it's there, but they can't explain it. They know it's powerful, but they don't understand why. And most chilling of all, they know it is the force that will eventually rip the universe apart. The implications of this are mind-boggling. Imagine a universe where stars are no longer bound together in clusters, where entire galaxies slip beyond our reach, vanishing into a dark void. Imagine a cosmos where every spark of life, every possibility of connection, is being slowly stretched out of existence. It is as if the universe itself is slowly, inevitably pulling away from us, its cold, indifferent hand erasing everything. And yet, we're caught in the quiet drama of it all, unable to stop or even slow down the process. Every star we gaze at, every planet that orbits around it, is being pulled further and further apart. We know that this process is happening, but we are so small, so insignificant in the grand scheme of things, that there is nothing we can do to alter it. The universe, it seems, is dying, and we are powerless to change that fate. But there's something about this slow and steady unraveling that brings with it a strange sense of awe. We have always looked to the stars for guidance, for answers to the big questions. Where did we come from? What is our purpose? And now, in the face of this cosmic unraveling, those same questions become even more urgent. What does it mean to live in a universe that is gradually erasing itself? If everything we know is destined to fade away, does that make life any less meaningful, any less precious? Or does it give us a sense of urgency to grasp onto what we have for as long as we can? There's an emotional tension that comes with this realization. On the one hand, it evokes fear, a profound sense of helplessness in the face of an unstoppable force. The universe is so vast and yet so fragile, slipping away like sand through our fingers. But on the other hand, there is something incredibly humbling about it. We are part of something far greater than ourselves, something that stretches out into eternity, beyond our comprehension. The fact that we exist at all, that we have the ability to witness the stars and contemplate our place in the cosmos, seems like a fleeting miracle. This realization brings with it an emotional complexity. We know that the stars are burning out, that galaxies are moving farther away from each other, and yet, here we are, standing on a tiny speck of dust orbiting an ordinary star in the vastness of space. The sense of cosmic insignificance is overwhelming, but at the same time, there is beauty in the fleeting nature of our existence. Everything is temporary, even the stars, but in that fleeting moment, we have a chance to witness the grandeur of the universe before it slips beyond our reach. And that's the strange paradox at the heart of this cosmic erosion. We are, in a sense, living at the end of time. The universe is erasing itself, slowly, steadily, and we are here to witness it. And yet, in this very moment, we have the privilege of experiencing the universe in all its glory, its beauty, its mystery, its awe-inspiring vastness. It's as if we are standing on the edge of an enormous precipice, peering into the abyss, knowing that we can't stay there forever, but also knowing that this is a moment unlike any other in the history of time. For some, the idea that the universe is slowly disappearing may be terrifying. It may raise questions about the meaning of life, about why we are here, and whether it all matters if everything is destined to fade away. But for others, there's a certain freedom in this knowledge. The inevitability of the universe's demise doesn't make life any less meaningful. It makes it more meaningful, more urgent. In a universe where everything is fleeting, every moment becomes a treasure, every connection becomes a gift, and every star that burns bright in the night sky is a reminder that we are alive, if only for a brief moment. The universe, as we know it, is slipping away from us. It's a tragic reality, but it is also a beautiful one. It is a reminder that everything in life, every person, every idea, every discovery, is a fleeting moment in the grand cosmic dance. And though we cannot stop the universe from erasing itself, perhaps we can learn to appreciate the beauty in its unraveling, the grace in its impermanence, and the awe-inspiring mystery that it holds for those of us who are fortunate enough to witness it. So, the next time you look up at the stars, remember that they too are part of a story that is slowly fading into the darkness. But in that moment, under the vast, unknowable sky, remember this: the universe may be erasing itself, but you are here to see it. And that, in itself, is something truly remarkable. Dark energy. Even the name feels strange, unfamiliar, as though it belongs to a realm of thought so far beyond our grasp that we can hardly wrap our minds around it. It's not something we can see, touch, or feel. We can't measure it directly or grasp it in any tangible way, yet its influence over the universe is undeniable. It is a force that pushes galaxies apart, accelerating the expansion of the cosmos in ways we've only begun to understand. But what is it really? What is this unseen, invisible force, and why is it so powerful? The mystery of dark energy is not new, but its implications are still unfolding. Just over a century ago, scientists believed that the universe was static, neither expanding nor contracting. This belief lasted until the 1920s, when astronomers like Edwin Hubble began observing that galaxies were moving away from each other, suggesting that the universe itself was expanding. Yet there was a major puzzle. The universe, as vast as it was, had too much gravitational pull for expansion to occur endlessly. Something should have been slowing it down. But it wasn't. The universe's expansion was accelerating, not slowing down. And that's where dark energy comes in. In 1998, astronomers discovered something both mind-boggling and unsettling. The universe wasn't just expanding, it was accelerating. This observation defied all expectations. Scientists had assumed that the universe's expansion would eventually slow due to the gravitational pull of all its mass. Instead, what they found was that some mysterious force was causing galaxies to move away from each other at an ever-increasing rate. That force was eventually given the name dark energy. It was a term born out of necessity, an acknowledgement of the unknown, the invisible presence that was altering the very fabric of the universe. Dark energy is, in essence, the most dominant force in the universe today. It is thought to make up roughly 70% of the cosmos, yet its exact nature remains one of the greatest mysteries in modern science. Its presence is inferred from the effects it has on the universe's expansion, but beyond that, we are left with questions and uncertainties. No one knows what dark energy is made of, how it behaves, or why it exists. It doesn't interact with matter in any traditional way, it doesn't emit light or any other form of radiation. It's completely invisible. But its power is staggering. At the heart of the mystery is its sheer magnitude. Dark energy is pushing galaxies apart at an accelerating rate, and this process is speeding up as time goes on. This is not just a small effect in the distant corners of the universe, it's happening everywhere, on every scale. Galaxies that were once bound together by gravity are now being torn apart by the unseen hand of dark energy. The cosmos, as vast as it is growing increasingly more isolated. Over time, galaxies will drift so far apart that the space between them will become impossibly vast. It will reach a point where no light from distant galaxies will ever be visible again. The universe will become a cold, dark, and empty place. But why does dark energy behave this way? Why does it accelerate the expansion of the universe rather than slow it down? And why is its influence growing stronger with time? These are questions that remain unanswered, even though dark energy's effects are undeniable. Some theorists suggest that dark energy is a fundamental property of space itself, an energy that exists everywhere, even in the vacuum of empty space. Others speculate that dark energy is a form of energy that arises from quantum fluctuations in the fabric of space-time, or even that it's a manifestation of some unknown physics we have yet to uncover. There are many competing theories, but no consensus on the true nature of dark energy. What makes the mystery even more intriguing is the realization that dark energy isn't something we can study in a traditional way. It doesn't behave like any other force or energy we've encountered in our exploration of the universe. It doesn't interact with matter the way gravity does, and it doesn't emit light like stars or other forms of radiation. It's elusive, and in some ways, it's terrifyingly indifferent to our attempts to understand it. As humans, we have always sought to understand the forces that shape the world around us. We've probed the mysteries of gravity, of electromagnetism, and of the fundamental particles that make up matter. But dark energy? It remains a ghost in the machine, present but unseen, a puzzle that challenges everything we know about the cosmos. The more we learn about dark energy, the more unsettling the mystery becomes. It's not just that we don't know what it is, it's that dark energy has the power to reshape the universe itself. It has the ability to drive galaxies apart, to tear the very fabric of space and time. This is not a small force, something we can ignore. Dark energy is the engine of the universe's destiny, and its power is growing stronger with every passing moment. As scientists continue to study dark energy, new questions continue to arise. How can something that we cannot observe directly have such a profound impact on the universe? Can we ever fully understand it, or will it remain a mystery forever? And perhaps most haunting of all, what will the universe look like when dark energy has run its course? What happens to the cosmos when galaxies are no longer bound together by gravity, when everything is drifting farther and farther apart, and the light of stars fades into nothingness? In many ways, dark energy embodies the ultimate mystery of existence. It is an invisible force that governs the fate of the universe, yet remains completely beyond our understanding. It challenges the boundaries of human knowledge and forces us to confront the limits of what we can know about the universe. It is a reminder of the vastness of the cosmos, of how little we truly understand, and of how much more there is to discover. But despite the uncertainty, there is a strange sense of wonder in all of this. As much as dark energy represents the unknown, it also represents the potential for discovery. It beckons us to explore the farthest reaches of the universe, to ask questions, to seek answers, and to confront the mysteries of existence. In its very mystery, dark energy challenges us to expand our horizons, to think beyond what we know, and to imagine a universe that is far more complex and awe-inspiring than we could ever have imagined. Ultimately, the story of dark energy is not just about the force itself. It's about the quest for understanding, the pursuit of knowledge, and the human drive to make sense of the universe. It's a story of discovery, of hope, of wonder, and yes, of fear. For in the face of such a powerful and mysterious force, we are reminded of our own place in the cosmos, our smallness, and our fragility. And yet, in that fragility, there is beauty, for we are here to witness it all, to ask the questions, and to be part of the great story of the universe. Imagine standing on the edge of a vast cliff, gazing out over an endless ocean, where the waves are lapping softly against the shore. Now, imagine that the ocean is not simply standing still, it is expanding, stretching out into the horizon, constantly getting larger, and the shore you stand on is slowly moving farther and farther away. The horizon is shifting at an ever-increasing pace, pulling everything you know further apart. This is, in essence, what dark energy is doing to the universe right now. It is the invisible force stretching space itself, pushing galaxies further and further from each other, driving the cosmos to expand faster than ever before. We have always thought of space as something solid, something defined, a backdrop to the stars and galaxies that we've studied for centuries. But space itself is not static. It's not simply an empty void that things occupy. Instead, it's a dynamic, ever-changing entity that can stretch, bend, and expand in ways that challenge everything we thought we knew about the cosmos. Dark energy is the force responsible for this expansion, and its effects are both mind-bending and profoundly unsettling. When we look up at the night sky, we see stars and galaxies that have existed for billions of years, their light traveling across unimaginable distances to reach us. We marvel at the beauty and wonder of the cosmos, imagining it as an eternal, unchanging expanse. But what if that picture is wrong? What if the universe is not eternal at all? What if it's constantly stretching, constantly shifting, and constantly eroding? This is the reality that dark energy introduces, a universe that is not only expanding but expanding faster with every passing moment. It's not just that the space between galaxies is growing, it's that the rate at which it's happening is increasing. This is the shocking revelation that scientists discovered in the late 1990s when they observed distant supernovae. These exploding stars were moving away from us at speeds that seemed to defy the laws of physics, suggesting that something was causing the universe to expand faster than it ever had before. This observation was a game-changer. It was proof that the universe wasn't slowing down as everyone had assumed. It was speeding up. At the heart of this expansion is dark energy. While we don't fully understand what it is, we know that it is the driving force behind the acceleration of the universe. It's not a force we can touch or see, but it is a force that has been shaping the universe for billions of years. And as time goes on, it's becoming stronger. The more space stretches, the more dark energy seems to fuel the expansion. It's as though dark energy is feeding on the very fabric of the universe itself, growing ever more powerful as the cosmos stretches farther and farther into the unknown. This brings us to one of the most disturbing aspects of dark energy. It's not just that the universe is expanding, it's that this expansion is happening at an ever-increasing rate. The galaxies that were once bound together by gravity are now being torn apart. Imagine clusters of galaxies drifting away from each other at speeds that are too fast to comprehend. It's as if the universe itself is coming undone, slowly but surely, stretched beyond the point of no return. Over time, galaxies will move so far apart that they will be invisible to each other. The light from distant galaxies will never reach us, and we will become increasingly isolated, floating in a dark, empty expanse of space. But what does this mean for us, for our place in the universe? The implications are staggering. For one, it means that the universe we know is not a permanent fixture. It is not an eternal, static space where things simply exist. Instead, it's a dynamic, ever-evolving entity that is slowly slipping away from us, carrying everything we know and love further into the void. The stars will burn out, galaxies will fade into darkness, and the universe will eventually become a cold, lifeless place. It's a future that is both inevitable and haunting, a future where the very fabric of reality is being stretched to its breaking point. And yet, there is something deeply beautiful about this realization. There's a sense of awe and understanding that the universe is alive, constantly shifting, constantly evolving. Even though it is unraveling, there is a certain majesty in the way it stretches outward, pushing the boundaries of what we can imagine. We are witnessing the slow death of the cosmos, but in that death, there is also a profound beauty. The stars may burn out, the galaxies may drift apart, but in that slow unraveling, there is an elegance to the way the universe is revealing itself to us, showing us the delicate balance between creation and destruction. This also challenges our perspective on time itself. If the universe is expanding at an accelerating rate, what does that mean for the passage of time? We think of time as something linear, something that progresses at a steady pace. But what if time itself is being stretched along with the universe? What if the very flow of time is accelerating just as the galaxies are? In a universe where space itself is constantly stretching, the rules we've always understood about time and space are being rewritten. And then there's the question of what happens when the universe can no longer stretch. When galaxies are so far apart that they can no longer interact with each other, when stars are so distant that their light can no longer reach us, what will be left? The universe will become a dark, empty place, a vast expanse of cold, stretching space. It's a future that feels almost impossible to comprehend, a universe devoid of stars, devoid of life, devoid of everything that makes it what it is. Yet, there's a strange, almost paradoxical comfort in knowing that this is the fate of everything. It's the ultimate reminder that nothing lasts forever. The universe, with all its mystery and wonder, is not eternal. It's not infinite in the way we once thought. It is fragile, subject to the same forces of decay that affect everything else. And in that fragility, there is a sense of connection, a reminder that we, too, are part of this grand, unfolding story. We are here, for a fleeting moment, witnessing the universe in all its glory, as it stretches and expands toward its inevitable end. There's something both humbling and awe-inspiring about this. The universe is not something that is permanent or fixed. It is something that is constantly changing, constantly shifting, constantly unraveling. And we, as tiny specks in the vastness of space, are witnessing that unraveling. It's a reminder that we are not separate from the cosmos. We are part of it, caught in the same process of expansion and decay, a small but meaningful part of the grand, ever-stretching universe. The universe, in its infinite expanse, is stretching, slowly but relentlessly. We know this now through the lens of our most powerful telescopes and the keen observations of astronomers, but what does it mean for the very fabric of reality to be expanding? For the universe to not only stretch outward, but to do so at an ever-increasing rate, an acceleration that defies the most basic assumptions we once held about how space behaves? This is the fundamental question that dark energy presents. It is not simply a force that pushes against gravity, but one that reshapes the very essence of the cosmos. Imagine standing still in the center of a vast rubber sheet. Now, imagine that sheet starts to stretch outward, slowly at first, then faster and faster, until the very edges of the sheet seem to be moving beyond the limits of your vision. What you once knew as a fixed and stable surface is now growing larger, expanding with an energy you cannot control. This stretching is analogous to what is happening to the universe. The very space between galaxies is increasing, not just due to gravitational interactions but because of dark energy, an invisible force that has become the dominant power in the universe. The mechanics of dark energy are still elusive, but one thing is clear. It is driving the universe's expansion in a way that is not only unexpected but also fundamentally different from anything we've seen before. Galaxies, which once clung to one another in the grasp of gravity, are now drifting apart at increasing speeds. The speed of expansion is accelerating, and the more space stretches, the more dark energy seems to grow in influence, feeding the expansion like an ever-hungry force. In essence, space itself is warping and stretching, bending outward like a fabric being pulled at the seams, its threads fraying and pulling apart. In the early moments of the universe's existence, right after the Big Bang, space was in a state of rapid expansion, but this expansion slowed over time. Gravity worked against it, pulling matter together and forming the stars, galaxies, and clusters we see today. For billions of years, this gravitational pull kept things in check, and the universe seemed to be expanding at a steady pace. But then something strange began to happen. At a certain point, the expansion began to accelerate. Instead of slowing down as we would have expected, the expansion was speeding up. This was the moment that dark energy revealed its presence, slowly at first, but with increasing force. This realization has rocked the scientific community to its core. How can something so intangible, so invisible, wield such power over the very fabric of space and time? Dark energy is not something we can touch or feel. It doesn't interact with matter in any conventional way. We can't see it, we can't measure it directly, and yet, it is shaping the destiny of the entire universe. It's as if we are watching the fabric of reality itself being torn apart by an unseen hand, its strength growing as the universe stretches farther and farther. Imagine for a moment that you are in a spaceship, drifting alone in space, observing galaxies in the distance. You notice that over time, they seem to be moving away from you faster than you expected. You try to calculate their speed, but something doesn't add up. The galaxies aren't just moving apart in a predictable manner, they're accelerating. It's as if the universe itself is pulling them farther apart, stretching them beyond what you thought possible. This is the effect of dark energy in action. The galaxies aren't just moving away because of gravity or because of the initial expansion from the Big Bang. They're being pushed, stretched, and torn apart by a force that's as mysterious as it is powerful. The more we study this phenomenon, the more unsettling the implications become. The universe as we know it is not a fixed entity. It is not an eternal, unchanging space. Instead, it is a dynamic, living thing, constantly evolving, constantly expanding. And as it does, it becomes increasingly isolated. The galaxies, once bound together by gravity, will eventually drift too far apart to interact. The space between them will grow so vast that it will be impossible to detect any traces of one galaxy from another. It will be as though each galaxy is floating in its own isolated bubble, separated from the rest of the universe by an expanding gulf of emptiness. But there's something more terrifying about this than just the physical distance between galaxies. As the universe continues to expand at an accelerating rate, it will eventually reach a point where everything we know begins to slip beyond our reach. The light from distant galaxies, which has traveled for billions of years to reach us, will no longer be visible. The very information that once connected us to the farthest reaches of the universe will become increasingly lost in the dark expanse of space. What happens when we can no longer see the stars? What happens when the universe becomes a dark, cold place, devoid of the brilliance and light we once cherished? This is the fate that dark energy is leading us toward. It is not just the expansion of space, it is the gradual disintegration of the very interconnectedness of the universe. The universe will become a place where galaxies are forever out of reach, where the light of distant stars will never again touch our eyes. The universe will not collapse into a fiery death as some once speculated. Instead, it will fade away quietly and slowly until it is a dark, empty void. Yet, as much as this vision is sobering, it also forces us to confront some fundamental questions about our place in the cosmos. If the universe is expanding, accelerating, and stretching itself into nothingness, what does that mean for us? What does it mean to live in a universe that is, in essence, unraveling? Is our existence a mere blip in the grand timeline of the cosmos, a fleeting moment in a universe that is constantly in flux? And if so, does that diminish the significance of our lives, or does it give us a deeper sense of purpose? The acceleration of the universe's expansion forces us to reconsider the nature of time itself. If space is stretching at an accelerating rate, what does that mean for the passage of time? Is time itself accelerating, bending, and stretching in tandem with the universe? Or is time a separate dimension, unaffected by the stretching of space? These questions are still up for debate, and the answers may be more complex than we can yet imagine. But one thing is certain: the nature of time and space is not as fixed as we once thought. As dark energy takes hold, the very rules that govern the cosmos are being rewritten. In the end, the expanding universe is a reminder of the impermanence of everything. Stars will burn out, galaxies will drift apart, and the universe will eventually fade into darkness. But in that fading, there is a strange kind of beauty. The universe, in all its complexity and mystery, is constantly evolving, constantly stretching and reaching toward the unknown. And though it may eventually dissolve into emptiness, for now, it exists in all its glory, constantly pushing the boundaries of what we know, constantly reminding us of the fragile, fleeting nature of existence itself. When we gaze up at the night sky, the stars seem to offer us a sense of permanence, a sense that, despite the vastness of space and time, there is something eternal about the universe. The stars have been burning for billions of years, their light traveling across unimaginable distances to reach us. But what if, in the near future, these stars, the very objects that have defined the night sky for so long, begin to fade? What if they burn out, one by one, slowly and silently, disappearing into the darkness of an ever-expanding cosmos? The fate of stars, much like the fate of the universe itself, is tied to the relentless expansion driven by dark energy. As galaxies are stretched farther apart by the accelerating force of dark energy, the conditions necessary for star formation will change. The material that once collapsed into stars, creating the brilliant, luminous points of light we see today, will be increasingly scattered. Gas clouds, which are the building blocks of new stars, will become so spread out that they will no longer be able to condense under gravity to form new stellar bodies. The process of star formation, which has been occurring for billions of years, will slowly grind to a halt. This is not a distant, far-off event. It is something that has already begun. The universe is already entering what scientists call the degeneration phase, where star formation is slowing, and the stars that are already burning will eventually run out of fuel. Stars like our Sun, which have burned for billions of years, will eventually exhaust their nuclear fuel and enter a dying phase, swelling into red giants before shedding their outer layers and leaving behind a cooling, dimming core, a white dwarf. This process takes billions of years, but it is inevitable. For stars like ours, the end will come when the hydrogen in their cores is gone, and they no longer have the energy to counteract gravity. In a universe that is expanding faster and faster, the fate of the stars becomes even more tragic. As galaxies are driven apart, the space between them increases, and the conditions necessary for the formation of new stars become more and more scarce. There will be a time billions of years from now when no new stars will be born. The galaxies will be filled with the dying embers of older stars, their light slowly fading, their energy dissipating into the cold vacuum of space. This is not just the death of individual stars, it is the death of the star-forming process itself, a sign that the universe is winding down, losing the ability to create new sources of light and heat. As stars begin to die, the universe will gradually become a darker, colder place. The warmth and light that once radiated from countless stars will fade, leaving behind a desolate, silent expanse. There will be no new stars to replace the old ones, no new energy to fuel the galaxies. The universe will be filled with remnants of what once was white dwarfs, neutron stars, and black holes, all relics of a time when the cosmos was more vibrant and alive. These remnants will be scattered throughout an ever-expanding universe, their light fading into the emptiness of space, slowly growing colder and colder as time goes on. This vision of the future is both haunting and awe-inspiring. On the one hand, it is the inevitable end of the process that has shaped the universe as we know it, the birth, life, and death of stars. But on the other hand, it is a reminder of the transient nature of everything. Just as stars are born, live, and die, so too will the universe itself undergo a similar cycle of birth, expansion, and eventual death. The stars, in all their brilliance, are a temporary phenomenon in the grand timeline of the cosmos. Their light may seem eternal to us, but in reality, it is a fleeting spark in the endless stretch of time. Yet, despite the eventual death of stars, there is a strange, poetic beauty in their dying process. As stars burn through their fuel, they go through a series of dramatic transformations, each one more intense than the last. Red giants, for example, can grow so large that they swallow up entire planets, including, in the case of our Sun, the Earth itself. This final, cataclysmic phase of a star's life is a reminder that even in death, there is a certain grandeur, a cosmic drama that unfolds on a scale we can barely comprehend. And as these stars shed their outer layers, they often leave behind nebulae, vast clouds of gas and dust that serve as the building blocks for new stars, planets, and perhaps even life. Even in death, stars contribute to the ongoing cycle of creation. But as the universe continues to expand, this cycle will come to an end. No longer will stars be born from the remnants of their predecessors. The gas clouds that once gave rise to new stars will be too sparse, too scattered, to form anything new. The universe will grow colder and darker, and the light from distant stars will fade into the blackness. The cycle of birth and death that has shaped the universe for billions of years will give way to an era of stasis, where nothing new is created, and everything that exists will slowly decay. In this future, the universe will be a very different place. The galaxies will be more isolated than ever before, their stars dying off one by one. The vast emptiness between them will grow, and the once bright night sky will become a barren expanse of blackness. The universe, which has been a place of creation and destruction, of birth and death, will have entered a period of cosmic silence, a time when the very forces that once fueled its dynamic evolution will have ceased to be effective. What will be left? White dwarfs, neutron stars, black holes, all the remnants of the once vibrant universe. These objects will drift, isolated, in an increasingly empty space. Over vast stretches of time, even these remnants will begin to fade. White dwarfs will cool and become dark. Neutron stars will lose their energy. Even black holes, over unimaginable timescales, will eventually evaporate, leaving nothing behind but the emptiness of space. The death of the stars is not just a physical event. It is a metaphor for the end of an era. The universe, once teeming with energy, light, and motion, will settle into a state of quiet stagnation. There will be no more creation, no more death, no more change. The universe will become a place where only the echoes of its past remain. And in that silence, we will be left with the question: what does it mean to exist in a universe that is slowly fading away? Does our brief moment in the cosmos have meaning, or are we simply witnessing the final act in a story that has already been written? The fate of the stars is the fate of the universe itself. As they die, so too does the universe's capacity for renewal. The cosmos is on a journey toward its own end, a journey that is being driven by dark energy. And while that journey may take billions of years to unfold, it is inevitable. The universe will stretch, the stars will burn out, and in the end, everything will fade into darkness. But perhaps in that fading there is a certain peace, a quiet finality that marks the end of the cosmic cycle, a reminder that all things, no matter how bright or beautiful, must eventually come to an end. As the stars begin to fade and the galaxies drift farther apart, the universe seems to move inexorably toward a future where it will be a cold, dark, and lifeless place. This is the final chapter of the universe's story, one where even the remnants of dying stars will no longer shine. The forces that have governed the cosmos, gravity, light, and energy, will eventually lose their power. The universe, once a dynamic place of creation, growth, and expansion, will be left to languish in a state of eternal emptiness. But what happens when all the stars are gone, and the universe is left in darkness? It's a question that challenges our understanding of time, existence, and the very nature of life itself. As the stars burn out, the universe will enter what is known as the degeneration era. This period will be marked by the slow and inevitable cooling of the cosmos, as energy dissipates and matter becomes more diffuse. The once vibrant, glowing galaxies will no longer be filled with the light of newborn stars. Instead, they will be filled with white dwarfs, neutron stars, and black holes, each of them fading, each of them slowly losing the energy that once defined them. In this new era, even the black holes, which once seemed like the ultimate cosmic mystery, will no longer be able to hide the universe's death throes. While black holes are often associated with immense power, swallowing entire stars and bending spacetime around them, they too are subject to the laws of thermodynamics. Over unimaginable stretches of time, black holes will begin to lose their mass, gradually evaporating through a process called Hawking radiation. This radiation, a quantum mechanical effect that causes black holes to emit tiny particles, will eventually cause these cosmic giants to shrink and vanish, leaving nothing behind but a vast, empty void. Even in the farthest reaches of the universe, where the cold of space presses in on every atom, the end is inevitable. The dark energy that has been accelerating the universe's expansion will continue to stretch the fabric of space itself, pulling galaxies farther apart, weakening the gravitational bonds that once held everything together. Over billions of years, this process will result in an ever-growing isolation. Galaxies will drift so far apart that the distances between them will become insurmountable. Eventually, the light from distant galaxies will no longer be visible to us, and the vast interconnected web of the universe will be reduced to isolated islands of light, each one growing more distant, more disconnected from the others. The universe, as we know it, will become a place where nothing new is born. The conditions that gave rise to stars, planets, and life will no longer exist. The energy that once fueled the creation of galaxies and the birth of stars will have been used up, and the universe will be left with nothing but the remnants of what once was. There will be no more stars to gaze upon, no more planets to explore, and no more galaxies to connect us to the broader cosmos. The universe will become, in every sense, a vast, empty space, a place where light no longer travels and where time itself feels like it has come to a standstill. In this future, what does it mean for us, for life, and for the human experience? It is impossible not to feel a sense of existential dread at the thought of a universe that has run out of energy, where everything we know is slowly fading into nothingness. But perhaps, in this darkness, there is a deeper, more profound lesson to be learned. The inevitable death of the universe forces us to confront the fragile nature of our existence. We are, after all, a part of this grand cosmic story. We were born from the stars, and one day we too will return to the dust from which we came. This stark reality of cosmic decay is unsettling, but it also has a strangely humbling quality. If everything in the universe, stars, galaxies, black holes, even the very fabric of space, is destined to fade, then what does that mean for our place in it? What does it mean to live in a universe that is unraveling, that is slowly being erased by the forces of dark energy and time? It means that our existence, however brief, is part of something far greater than ourselves. We are a moment in the eternal flow of time, a fleeting flicker of light in the vast darkness of the cosmos. The inevitability of the universe's end does not diminish the beauty of the universe, nor does it make life any less meaningful. In fact, it has the opposite effect. It forces us to appreciate the preciousness of life, the fleeting nature of our existence. Each star that burns bright in the sky, each galaxy that spins in the distance, is a testament to the wonders of the cosmos. They are reminders that we live in a universe that is alive, ever-changing, and full of mysteries that we can never fully comprehend. But they are also reminders that everything, no matter how magnificent, must eventually come to an end. The universe's eventual decay is not something to fear, but something to accept. It is the natural course of all things, from the smallest atom to the largest galaxy. The forces that shape the universe, dark energy, gravity, time, are beyond our control, and yet we are here in this brief moment, able to witness the universe in all its glory. This is a rare and precious gift, one that we should cherish while we can. In the far future, when all the stars have died and the galaxies are isolated in a dark, silent expanse, it may be hard to imagine that life ever existed at all. But in that quiet, lifeless universe, there will still be echoes of the past. The remnants of stars will continue to drift through space, the black holes will continue to bend light and space-time, and the cosmic dust will carry the stories of the universe's past. Even in the darkness, even in the void, there will be traces of everything that came before, a cosmic memory of the wonders that once filled the universe. Perhaps this is what makes the universe so beautiful. It is not just the stars, the planets, or the galaxies that give it meaning, but the knowledge that everything is temporary. The very fact that the universe will one day come to an end makes it all the more precious, all the more miraculous. We are part of a grand cosmic story, a story that stretches back to the beginning of time and will continue long after we are gone. And in that story, we are a small but significant chapter, one that is marked by the light of stars and the warmth of life. The death of the universe may seem like a bleak future, but it is also a reminder of the beauty and fragility of existence. The universe is alive, it is changing, and it is constantly moving toward its own conclusion. In that journey, it holds within it the seeds of creation, the spark of life, and the inevitability of death. And perhaps, in the end, that is what makes the universe so extraordinary, its ability to create, to sustain, and to eventually fade away, leaving behind nothing but the echoes of its past. As we try to grasp the vast implications of dark energy and its role in the fate of the universe, a question lingers in the back of our minds. What does it mean for us, as human beings, to witness the unfolding of such a cosmic drama? The universe, vast and ancient, is unraveling in ways that challenge our most basic understanding of existence. Galaxies, once bound together by gravity, are now being driven apart by a force we cannot see or touch. Stars are slowly dying, their light fading into the dark abyss of space. The universe is stretching outward, pushing everything farther and farther into the void. And through it all, we remain here on this tiny blue dot trying to make sense of it all. This sense of cosmic isolation is one of the most profound realizations that emerges from our understanding of dark energy and the future of the universe. As the galaxies drift apart, as the stars burn out, as the light from distant galaxies fades into nothingness, we are left with the unsettling truth. The universe is not a fixed, eternal entity. It is a living, breathing thing, constantly changing, expanding, and evolving, and ultimately heading toward an inevitable end. The realization that the universe is finite, that it will one day come to a close, is not just a scientific fact. It is a deeply philosophical one. What does it mean for us as humans to exist in such a universe? We have always looked to the stars for meaning, for guidance, for a sense of connection to something greater than ourselves. The stars have been our constant companions, lighting up the night sky and offering us a glimpse into the vastness of the cosmos. But what happens when those stars begin to burn out? What happens when the night sky is no longer filled with their light, when the galaxies are so far apart that we can no longer see them? Does our existence lose meaning in a universe that is slowly fading into darkness? Perhaps the most profound aspect of this realization is the fragility of life itself. As humans, we are acutely aware of our own mortality, of the fleeting nature of our existence. We are born, we live, and we die just like the stars. And yet, we often act as though our lives are permanent, as though we are invincible, as though the universe will continue on forever with no end in sight. The truth, however, is far more humbling. The universe, like us, has a beginning and an end. It was born from the Big Bang, and one day, it will die, stretching into an eternal darkness. And in that vast cosmic timeline, our existence is but a brief moment, a fleeting flash of light. This is not a nihilistic thought. In fact, it is the opposite. The very fact that we are here, that we are conscious of the universe's unfolding, is a testament to the miraculous nature of existence. We are a small, fragile species, living on a tiny planet, orbiting a star that is itself a fleeting presence in the grand scheme of things. And yet, in this brief moment of time, we are able to ask questions, to seek answers, to understand the forces that shape the cosmos. We are, in a sense, part of the universe's story, a fleeting chapter in a much larger narrative. Our understanding of the universe, of dark energy, of the expansion of space, of the fate of the stars, is a reflection of our unique ability to comprehend the cosmos, to reach out and touch the infinite. And this, in many ways, is the most profound lesson that dark energy offers. In the face of a universe that is expanding toward an inevitable end, we are reminded of the preciousness of life, of the fleeting nature of our existence. Every moment, every interaction, every experience is an opportunity to embrace the beauty of the present, to savor the fleeting moments of light before they fade into the darkness. The universe is not an eternal, unchanging entity. It is a dynamic, ever-evolving force, and so are we. Just as the stars burn brightly and then fade away, so too do we experience moments of brilliance, moments of joy, of creation, and of discovery. And though our lives may be short, they are meaningful in their transience, meaningful because we are here to witness the universe in all its glory. In many ways, the universe's expansion serves as a metaphor for the human condition. We are constantly stretching toward something greater, always searching for meaning, for connection, for purpose. And yet, just as the galaxies are drifting apart, so too do we often feel a sense of isolation, a sense that we are drifting farther and farther from the things that once held us together. The light of the stars is slowly fading, and the galaxies are growing more distant, more disconnected. And yet, in that distance there is still beauty, still wonder. Even as the universe stretches into an endless void, it remains full of mystery, full of possibilities, full of questions that we have yet to answer. As we continue to explore the cosmos, as we seek to understand the forces that govern the universe, we are forced to confront the limitations of our own knowledge. There is so much we do not know, so much we will never understand. And yet, that very mystery is what makes the universe so compelling. It is not just the answers we seek, but the questions themselves, the uncertainty, the unknown. It is in our curiosity, our desire to know, to understand, that we find our connection to the universe. Even as it stretches farther and farther away, even as it slowly fades into darkness, we are still part of it. We are still reaching out, still seeking, still searching for meaning in the vast expanse of space and time. The inevitability of the universe's end does not diminish its beauty or its significance. If anything, it heightens it. The knowledge that everything is temporary, every star, every planet, every galaxy, makes each moment that much more precious. Each moment of light, each spark of life, is a reminder that we are here, that we exist, and that we are part of something much greater than ourselves. The universe may be unraveling, but in that unraveling, there is an extraordinary beauty, an extraordinary sense of wonder. And as long as we are here to witness it, we are part of the story, part of the cosmic dance that has been unfolding since the dawn of time. In the end, dark energy teaches us a simple truth, that life, like the stars, is fleeting. And yet, it is in that fleeting nature, in that impermanence, that we find the true beauty of existence. The universe may be stretching, may be expanding, may be moving toward an end that we cannot stop. But in the meantime, we are here, alive, aware, and capable of experiencing the wonders of the cosmos. And that, in itself, is something worth cherishing. As we explore the fate of the universe and the role of dark energy, we find ourselves grappling with more than just the physical implications of this cosmic unraveling. The knowledge that the universe is expanding at an accelerating rate, pulling galaxies and stars apart, forces us to confront some of the deepest questions about existence itself. How do we reconcile the beauty of the cosmos with the inevitability of its decline? What does it mean to live in a universe that is not eternal, a universe that is gradually moving toward a state of cold, uninhabited emptiness? There is something profoundly unsettling about the idea that the universe, once a cradle for galaxies, stars, and planets, will one day be void of all light, energy, and matter. As the galaxies move further apart, as the stars burn out, and as the very fabric of space itself continues to stretch under the influence of dark energy, we are left with a stark realization. Everything we know, everything we cherish, is temporary. Even the universe in all its vastness has a beginning and an end. For centuries, humanity has looked to the stars for guidance. The night sky, filled with countless points of light, has been a symbol of hope, wonder, and possibility. It has served as a reminder of our place in the cosmos, of the vastness of the universe and our connection to it. The stars were not only our navigational aids, but also our symbols of permanence. They seemed to burn forever, their light traveling across space and time, transcending the fleeting nature of human existence. But now, as we peer deeper into the nature of the cosmos, we are confronted with the uncomfortable truth that the stars, like all things, are not eternal. This realization brings with it a profound sense of humility. If the stars, the very objects we have relied on to illuminate the darkness, will eventually burn out and die, what does that say about us? What does it mean for us to live in a universe that is slowly drifting toward darkness? It's a question that reaches into the core of human existence, forcing us to confront our own mortality and the fragility of the world around us. We are but fleeting moments in the grand timeline of the universe, and yet, despite our transience, we are capable of experiencing wonder, love, and discovery. This paradox, the fragility of life in a universe that is constantly stretching toward an uncertain future, is part of what makes the human experience so extraordinary. At the heart of this mystery lies the concept of time. Time, in many ways, is the fabric that binds the universe together. It is the dimension through which we experience existence, the force that shapes everything from the rise and fall of civilizations to the birth and death of stars. But what happens when time itself becomes distorted, when the very nature of time begins to unravel? As the universe expands at an accelerating rate, it is not just space that is being stretched, but time itself. The galaxies that once seemed to be fixed in place are now racing away from each other, and the passage of time is no longer as predictable as it once was. Time, like the universe, is slipping away from our grasp, its rhythm becoming more erratic, more unpredictable. This distortion of time raises profound philosophical questions. If time is not fixed, if the universe is expanding faster and faster, what does that mean for the future? What does it mean for the past? Will our memories, our histories, our stories become lost in the vastness of an ever-expanding cosmos? Will the light of distant stars, once a beacon of hope, eventually become unreachable, leaving us stranded in an eternal darkness? These questions are not just academic, they are existential. As we contemplate the fate of the universe, we are forced to confront our own place within it. We are small, fragile beings, living on a tiny planet in the midst of an ever-expanding cosmos. The stars may burn out, the galaxies may drift apart, and the universe may stretch toward its ultimate demise, but for now we are here. We are part of the universe's story, however brief our moment may be. And it is this very transience that gives our lives meaning. The fleeting nature of existence is not something to fear, but something to embrace. It is the impermanence of life that allows us to experience beauty, to feel love, and to seek meaning in a universe that is constantly changing. The stars, in all their glory, remind us of the fragility of life, but they also inspire us to reach for something greater, to seek out knowledge, to explore the unknown. And while the universe may be expanding toward a dark and empty future, we are not powerless in the face of this cosmic reality. We have the ability to explore, to discover, and to understand. In our brief moment in time, we have the power to shape our own destiny, to find meaning in a universe that is, at its core, constantly in motion. This brings us to the most profound lesson that dark energy teaches us: the importance of living in the moment. In a universe that is expanding at an ever-accelerating rate, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, to be consumed by the vastness of time and space. But the truth is that the only moment we have is the one we are living in right now. The past is gone, the future is uncertain, and the universe itself is slipping into an unknown future. But here, in this moment, we have the power to appreciate the beauty of the world around us, to make connections and to live with purpose. It is not the length of our lives that matters, but the richness of our experiences and the depth of our understanding. The universe may be stretching toward its eventual demise, but in the meantime, it is full of life, full of wonder, full of possibilities. There are still stars to gaze at, planets to explore, mysteries to uncover. And in our exploration of these mysteries, we are not only learning about the universe, but also about ourselves. We are discovering the limits of our knowledge, the fragility of our existence, and the boundless potential for growth and discovery. We are part of a cosmic journey, a journey that stretches far beyond our understanding, and yet we have the ability to shape that journey, to find meaning in a universe that is constantly unfolding. The eventual end of the universe, the cooling of the stars, the fading of galaxies into darkness. These are inevitabilities that we cannot escape. But it is in facing these realities that we find the strength to live fully, to embrace the fleeting nature of existence, and to make the most of our time in this vast and mysterious cosmos. We are not passive observers in the face of the universe's expansion. We are active participants in the grand story, and it is up to us to make the most of the moments we have, to cherish the beauty of the stars, and to find meaning in the ever-unfolding journey of existence. As we move deeper into the mystery of the universe's expansion and the implications of dark energy, we are left with questions that challenge the very essence of our understanding of existence. What is the meaning of life in a universe that is slowly fading into darkness? If everything around us, galaxies, stars, planets, will eventually be swallowed by the inexorable march of time, what does it mean for us as human beings to be here, in this brief moment in the vast timeline of the cosmos? The understanding that the universe will not remain as it is, that it is constantly changing and evolving, forces us to confront the deeper truths about our place in the cosmos. The universe, as we once understood it, was a stable, unchanging entity, a vast backdrop to our existence. But the discovery of dark energy has shattered that illusion. The universe is not static. It is dynamic, alive, constantly stretching, expanding, and evolving in ways we can barely comprehend. And as we come to terms with this, we are faced with the sobering reality that all things, galaxies, stars, planets, and even the very fabric of space, are destined to change and decay. The fate of the universe is inexorably tied to the forces that govern it. Dark energy is the dominant force in this new era, one that is pushing everything apart, accelerating the expansion of space, and ensuring that no matter what we do, the universe will continue to stretch, grow colder, and move toward an end. But what is the meaning of this process? Is it simply the inevitable conclusion of the cosmic cycle, a natural progression toward entropy, or is there something more to it? Is there a purpose to the expansion of the universe, or are we witnessing a cosmic tragedy, a grand unraveling of everything that once was? These are questions that have no easy answers, but they are questions that force us to confront the very nature of existence. If everything is temporary, if even the stars will eventually burn out and fade into the darkness, then what is the point of it all? What is the point of our own existence, fleeting and fragile as it is, in the face of such a vast, indifferent cosmos? We are here for only a short time, a mere blink in the eyes of the universe, and yet in that brief moment, we are capable of experiencing wonder, of seeking meaning, and of creating something lasting. It is this paradox, our fleeting existence in the face of an ever-expanding universe, that makes life so precious. Our time here is limited, and yet, it is in the knowledge of that limitation that we find the deepest meaning. If we were to live forever, if the universe were to remain unchanged, perhaps we would lose our sense of urgency, our sense of wonder. But the very fact that everything is temporary, that everything will eventually fade, gives our lives meaning. We are not merely spectators in the cosmic drama. We are active participants, capable of shaping our own story, of finding purpose in the face of uncertainty. As the universe expands and the galaxies drift further apart, we are reminded that everything is in a constant state of flux. Nothing remains the same forever. Stars are born, live, and die, galaxies collide, merge, and split apart, and planets like ours form, evolve, and eventually wither away. This constant cycle of creation and destruction is what gives the universe its beauty, its dynamism. But it is also what makes it a place of constant mystery. We are always in motion, always searching for answers, always wondering what lies beyond the next horizon. In the grand scheme of things, our time on Earth is but a moment, a brief flicker of light in the vast expanse of the cosmos. But it is a moment that is filled with meaning. We have the ability to reflect on the universe's mysteries, to ask questions, and to seek answers. In a universe that is constantly expanding, constantly moving toward a future we cannot predict, Our capacity for curiosity, for wonder, for discovery, is what sets us apart. It is what makes us human. The very fact that we can look up at the stars, wonder about the fate of the universe, and seek to understand the forces that shape it, is a testament to the unique position we hold in the cosmos. The knowledge that the universe is expanding, that dark energy is pushing everything further apart, might seem like a reason for despair. It might seem as though the universe is slowly moving toward an inevitable end, a place where all light will be extinguished and all matter will dissipate into nothingness. But there is another way to look at it. The universe, in its constant expansion, is offering us a glimpse into the unknown, a chance to explore the mysteries that have eluded us for centuries. The forces of dark energy may seem unstoppable, but they are also the forces that propel us forward, that push us to explore, to understand, and to seek out the answers to the greatest questions of all. As the galaxies drift further apart and the stars burn out, we are forced to confront the ultimate question. What is the legacy of humanity in a universe that is constantly changing, constantly expanding? In the end, we are but a small part of a much larger story, a story that stretches back to the birth of the cosmos and will continue long after we are gone. But in that small moment, in that fleeting chapter of the universe's history, we have the power to shape our own narrative, to find meaning in the face of uncertainty, and to leave our own imprint on the cosmos. The universe may be expanding, but so too are our minds, our understanding, and our capacity for growth. The more we learn, the more we realize how much there is to discover. The universe, in all its mystery, is not a place of hopelessness. It is a place of infinite possibility, a place where every question opens the door to a new discovery, where every answer leads to a deeper mystery. In the face of a universe that is moving toward an uncertain end, we have the power to find meaning, to create, and to explore. In the end, the expansion of the universe and the influence of dark energy remind us that everything is interconnected, that everything is part of a larger whole. We are not isolated in this vast expanse of space, we are part of it. And as we continue to explore the cosmos, to seek answers, to find meaning, we are engaging in the most profound journey of all. We are not simply passengers in this universe, we are active participants, shaping the future with every step we take, every discovery we make, and every question we ask. The universe may stretch toward its end, but in the process, it gives birth to new possibilities, new questions, and new paths for exploration. And as long as we continue to seek, to wonder, and to explore, we will never truly be lost in the vastness of space. We will always be part of the story, and the story will continue expanding outward into the unknown. The more we learn about the universe and its eventual fate, the more we are confronted with the profound, humbling truth that everything we know, everything we cherish, is part of a vast, impermanent system. The universe as we understand it is not static. It is constantly changing, constantly evolving, and yet, despite our fleeting existence within it, we continue to search for meaning, to seek answers, to find our place in the cosmic puzzle. The knowledge that dark energy is driving the universe's expansion toward an inevitable conclusion forces us to reckon with the stark reality that all things, no matter how grand, will eventually fade into oblivion. But as we face the inevitable decline of the universe, there is a deeper question that persists. What is the significance of our existence in such a vast and indifferent cosmos? If the universe is expanding at an accelerating rate, if galaxies are drifting further apart, if stars are dying and dark energy is pulling everything into an ever-deepening void, does anything we do truly matter? Can we find meaning in a universe that seems so cold, so indifferent to our presence? This is the paradox at the heart of our existence. On one hand, we are small, fragile beings, living on a speck of dust in the infinite expanse of space, destined to experience only a fleeting moment in the universe's history. On the other hand, we are conscious beings capable of thought, reflection, and inquiry. We have the unique ability to look out at the stars, to wonder about the nature of the universe, to search for the answers to questions that have fascinated humanity for millennia. The fleeting nature of our existence, the knowledge that we are but a brief moment in time, does not diminish our capacity to find meaning in our lives. If anything, it magnifies it. The universe is not indifferent to us because of its vastness or the forces that govern it. It is indifferent because it operates on a scale and according to laws that are far beyond our comprehension. The forces of dark energy, gravity, and the laws of thermodynamics do not care about individual lives or our quest for meaning. They simply exist, driving the expansion of the universe, shaping the fate of galaxies, stars, and eventually all matter. And yet, within this cosmic dance, we find ourselves capable of experiencing joy, sorrow, wonder, and fear. We find ourselves capable of creating meaning, of shaping our lives and our futures, even in a universe that is hurtling toward its own demise. Perhaps the most remarkable thing about human existence is our ability to find beauty in the chaos. The universe may be expanding toward its eventual end, but in the meantime, it is full of life, full of wonder, full of moments that defy the cold indifference of dark energy. The stars that burn in the night sky, the planets that revolve around them, the galaxies that stretch out before us. These are not simply cosmic accidents. They are the result of billions of years of cosmic evolution, of processes that have shaped the very fabric of space and time. And in that vast, intricate web of cosmic events, we find ourselves. We are part of the universe's story, and our story is part of the universe. This, perhaps, is where the true beauty of existence lies. The knowledge that we are small, fragile beings, caught in the ebb and flow of a universe that is constantly changing, is not a cause for despair. It is a reason to celebrate life, to embrace the fleeting nature of our existence, and to find meaning in the moments that we have. The stars will die, the galaxies will drift apart, and the universe will stretch toward its inevitable end. But while we are here, while we are alive, we have the power to shape our lives, to find beauty in the world around us, and to create meaning in the face of a universe that is indifferent to our existence. The ultimate fate of the universe may be sealed by dark energy, but it is our actions, our choices, and our understanding that give our lives meaning. We cannot stop the expansion of the universe, nor can we prevent the eventual death of the stars, but we can choose how we live in the face of it. We can choose to love, to create, to seek knowledge, to explore, and to experience the wonders of the cosmos while we are here. In doing so, we are making our own mark on the universe, however brief it may be. The fate of the universe, shaped by the forces of dark energy, may seem like a distant, abstract concept. But it has profound implications for our own lives, for how we live and what we value. The knowledge that everything is temporary, that the stars will one day burn out, that the galaxies will drift apart, that the universe will eventually stretch into an eternal darkness, forces us to confront the preciousness of life. It reminds us that every moment counts, that every experience is an opportunity to embrace the beauty of existence, to find meaning in a universe that is both vast and fleeting. In the end, the story of the universe is not just about the fate of stars or the expansion of galaxies. It is the story of existence itself, the story of life, of growth, of creation, and ultimately of decay. It is a story that unfolds on a cosmic scale, but it is also a story that is deeply personal. Each of us is a part of this story, a brief moment in the grand timeline of the cosmos. And while we may not have control over the forces that drive the universe, we do have control over how we live, how we experience the world, and how we find meaning in the face of uncertainty. Perhaps the greatest gift that dark energy offers is the opportunity to truly appreciate life in all its impermanence. The universe may be expanding, the stars may be dying, and the galaxies may be drifting apart, but the fleeting beauty of existence is ours to experience, ours to cherish. Every moment we have, every connection we make, every discovery we uncover, is a testament to the remarkable gift of life. And in that gift we find meaning, not because the universe will last forever, but because we are here for now, experiencing it in all its wonder and mystery. In the grand scheme of things, our time is short. The universe is vast, and our lives are but a brief flicker in its immense timeline. But within that flicker we have the power to make a difference, to find beauty, and to create meaning. And in that sense, our existence is not insignificant. We are part of something much greater than ourselves, a story that stretches back to the birth of the universe and will continue long after we are gone. We are a fleeting chapter in the cosmic narrative, but it is a chapter that is filled with purpose, filled with wonder, and filled with the infinite possibilities of life. As we continue to look toward the vast expanse of the universe, contemplating the forces of dark energy and the inevitable decay of all things, it becomes increasingly clear that our place in the cosmos is temporary, fragile, and profoundly mysterious. Yet, in the face of such overwhelming cosmic truths, we find ourselves confronted with an important paradox. How do we live meaningfully in a universe that is expanding relentlessly, in a cosmos that seems indifferent to our existence? How do we find purpose when the universe itself is drifting toward its inevitable cold end? Perhaps the first step is to acknowledge that this sense of cosmic insignificance is, in some ways, part of the beauty of life. We are not bound by eternal laws that guarantee our permanence. Rather, we are free to experience the fleeting wonder of existence. The universe, by all accounts, is a vast and indifferent place, but it is within this very vastness that we find the possibility of meaning. The stars may burn out, the galaxies may drift further apart, and the universe may eventually reach a point where it is cold and empty, but in the short time we have, we can create, we can love, and we can seek understanding. We are part of the cosmic dance, however brief our participation may be. It is easy, in moments of reflection, to feel overwhelmed by the scale of the universe, its endlessness, its scale, its indifferent forces. Yet, it is precisely this cosmic indifference that makes life so precious. In a universe that is destined to fade into darkness, every moment of light is a miracle, every spark of life a fleeting, irreplaceable gift. We are, in the grand timeline of the universe, mere blips, but in the lives we live, in the connections we make, we find something that transcends the eternal darkness. The power of experience, the power of meaning, and the ability to make an impact no matter how small. At the core of this understanding is the realization that our experience is defined by impermanence. The stars, like us, will burn bright for a time and then fade into the cosmic dark. Galaxies, once magnificent and teeming with the possibility of life, will eventually stretch too far apart, dissolving into the void. But even in the face of this eventuality, there is profound beauty in the transience of it all. Every act of creation, every spark of life, every relationship, every moment of discovery carries a weight of meaning because it is fleeting. Our lives, in their brevity, are a reflection of the universe's great cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. The forces that govern the cosmos, gravity, dark energy, and the laws of physics, are indifferent to human existence, but they also shape the very foundation of life itself. And it is in this shaping of life that we find our purpose. The human experience is unique, not because it is eternal, but because it is imbued with the possibility of meaning, of connection, and of growth. The universe, in all its vastness, offers us the opportunity to seek out beauty in the small moments, to create something that endures beyond us, and to build connections that transcend the limitations of time and space. Whether it's through art, science, philosophy, or love, we have the capacity to reach beyond the boundaries of our individual lives, to create something that lasts, something that speaks to the mystery of our existence. As we look up at the night sky, the same sky that has witnessed the birth and death of countless stars, we can't help but feel a sense of awe. Each twinkling light is a reminder of the cycles of life that have played out across billions of years. Yet, it is not the stars themselves that define the beauty of the cosmos. It is the way we respond to them. Our ability to reflect on the stars, to wonder about their origins, to ask questions about their fate, is what gives the night sky its meaning. The universe may be vast, but it is our curiosity, our longing for understanding, that transforms it into something personal, something significant. In that sense, the universe is not merely a backdrop to our existence. It is a partner in the dance of life. Its forces shape us just as our minds shape our understanding of it. We are not passive observers of the cosmos, waiting for it to unfold. We are active participants, discovering, learning, and, in some small way, changing the course of its story. The stars may burn out and the galaxies may drift apart, but in the time that we are given, we have the ability to contribute to the ongoing narrative of the universe, to add our own story to the grand cosmic tale. The universe, despite its eventual end, is not an empty, purposeless expanse. The knowledge that all things must eventually end only makes each moment of existence that much more precious. It forces us to live fully, to embrace the fleeting nature of our experience, to appreciate the beauty of the stars, the majesty of the galaxies, and the wonder of existence itself. In a universe that will one day be a cold, dark void, the very fact that we are alive now, that we can think, feel, and explore, is something to be celebrated. It is easy to fall into despair when we think about the universe's eventual demise. The knowledge that everything, from the smallest particle to the largest galaxy, is destined to fade away can feel overwhelming. But there is another way to look at it. The very fact that everything is temporary is what gives life its vibrancy, its intensity. If the universe were eternal, if everything lasted forever, perhaps we would lose our appreciation for what we have in the moment. It is the fleeting nature of existence that makes it precious. Every moment of joy, every act of kindness, every discovery, every relationship, these are the things that give life meaning. And in the grand sweep of time, it is the moments we live that matter, not the eternity that stretches out ahead of us. The expansion of the universe, driven by dark energy, is not a cause for despair. It is a reminder that change is inevitable. The forces that govern the cosmos are beyond our control, but our response to them is within our power. We can choose how we live, how we relate to each other, and how we understand our place in the universe. And it is in these choices, in these moments of connection, that we find the true meaning of life. The stars may fade, the galaxies may drift apart, and the universe may stretch into the void, but the impact we have on each other, on the world around us, and on the future of humanity, is something that transcends time. In the end, The story of the universe is not just about the fate of galaxies or the expansion of space. It is about the journey of life itself, about how we live, what we value, and how we find meaning in the face of uncertainty. The universe may be stretching toward its inevitable end, but in that journey, it has given us the gift of life, the gift of consciousness, and the gift of the opportunity to create meaning. And that, in itself, is a gift worth cherishing. As we continue our journey through the mysteries of the universe, there is a growing sense of awe that comes from the realization that we are a part of something far greater than ourselves. The expansion of the universe, driven by the elusive force of dark energy, offers us a window into the unknown, a glimpse into a future that is both unsettling and awe-inspiring. The stars are fading, galaxies are drifting apart, and the very fabric of space itself is stretching outward. Yet, within this vast and ever-changing cosmos, we find ourselves contemplating the questions that have plagued humanity for centuries. What does it mean to exist in such a universe? What is our purpose in the face of forces beyond our control? The truth is, the universe is both a cradle and a tomb. It is where life begins, grows, and ultimately fades away. But it is also where meaning is forged, meaning that transcends the limitations of time and space. Despite the inevitability of cosmic decay, we are still capable of finding purpose, of creating meaning, and of experiencing the wonder of existence. The knowledge that the universe is expanding, that everything we know is being pulled apart by dark energy, does not diminish the value of life. It enhances it. The fleeting nature of our existence is precisely what gives it significance. If everything were permanent, if the stars never burned out and the galaxies never drifted apart, perhaps we would lose the very sense of urgency that makes life so precious. In the face of this cosmic uncertainty, there is an undeniable beauty in the human capacity for resilience. We are born into a universe that is not designed for our permanence, and yet we endure. We survive, we thrive, and we continue to seek understanding. The very fact that we are here in this moment is a testament to our ability to adapt, to explore, and to find meaning in the midst of an ever-changing world. The universe may be expanding, it may be stretching toward an uncertain end, but we, as human beings, are part of something extraordinary. We are capable of reaching beyond our limited lives and glimpsing the vastness of existence, of seeing our place in the grand scheme of things. The discovery of dark energy and its role in the expansion of the universe has forced us to reconsider everything we thought we knew about the cosmos. For so long, we believed the universe to be a stable, predictable place, a cosmic machine that operated according to fixed laws. But the accelerating expansion of the universe has shattered that illusion. The forces of dark energy are not just pushing galaxies apart, they are reshaping our very understanding of time, space, and existence itself. Time, once thought to be a steady, unyielding force, is now revealed to be malleable, distorted by the stretching of space. The very fabric of the universe is unraveling, and with it, our sense of permanence. Yet, it is in the face of this unraveling that we find the most profound truth about existence. Everything is in a state of flux. The universe is not static. It is alive, constantly changing, constantly evolving. And it is this dynamism, this fluidity that gives life its richness. The stars may burn out, the galaxies may drift apart, and the universe may expand toward an endless, cold void, but in the meantime, there is beauty to be found in the chaos. There is meaning to be made in the moments we have, in the connections we create, and in the lives we live. It is not the length of our existence that matters, but the depth of our experience. The universe, with all its vastness, is a reminder of our own fragility. We are small, finite beings, living on a tiny planet in the midst of an infinite cosmos. And yet, in this small corner of the universe, we have the capacity for thought, for love, for creation. We are capable of experiencing wonder, of seeking knowledge, and of building lives full of meaning. The stars, though they may eventually burn out, are not merely points of light in the sky. They are symbols of what is possible in a universe that is constantly changing. The galaxies, though they may one day drift apart, represent the beauty of connection, of life that comes together and then slowly fades. And yet, it is in the process of fading that the greatest meaning can be found. The stars may die, but their death is not the end of the story. The elements they created, carbon, oxygen, iron, are the building blocks of life. The very atoms that make up our bodies were forged in the hearts of stars that have long since burned out. The universe, in its infinite cycles of creation and destruction, is constantly renewing itself. It is a place of infinite possibility, a place where every end is also a new beginning. And though we may never see the end of the universe, we can find meaning in the knowledge that our existence, no matter how fleeting, is part of this eternal cycle. It is this cycle of life, death, and rebirth that gives the universe its beauty. It is not the permanence of things that makes them meaningful, but their transience. We are here for a brief moment, and in that moment we have the ability to shape our own story. The knowledge that the universe is expanding, that dark energy is pushing everything apart, does not mean that life is without purpose. It means that we must seize the time we have, appreciate the moments of connection, and make the most of the fleeting beauty that surrounds us. In a universe that is slowly drifting toward its end, we are reminded of the importance of living fully, of embracing the present, and of finding meaning in the here and now. The stars may eventually burn out, the galaxies may drift apart, and the universe may stretch toward its inevitable cold end. But in the meantime, we have the gift of life, the gift of awareness, and the gift of the ability to experience the wonder of existence. And that, in itself, is something worth celebrating. In the end, the universe may be expanding, and its fate may be sealed by the forces of dark energy, but that does not diminish the significance of our lives. Our existence, though brief in the grand timeline of the cosmos, is a testament to the beauty of the universe. We are part of a larger story, one that stretches back to the beginning of time and will continue long after we are gone. But in the time we are here, we have the power to make a difference, to find meaning, and to shape our own destiny. The universe may be unraveling, but in our brief moment, we are writing our own chapter in the cosmic story. And that chapter is worth telling. As we continue to unravel the mysteries of the universe and the forces that govern its expansion, we begin to confront some of the deepest existential questions that humanity has pondered for centuries. The knowledge that the universe is expanding at an accelerating rate, propelled by dark energy, forces us to rethink our place in the cosmos. We are small, fleeting beings in the grand expanse of space and time, and yet the very fact that we are here in this moment imbues our lives with a unique kind of significance. There is something profoundly humbling about the realization that everything we know, every galaxy, every star, every planet, will one day fade into oblivion. The universe is stretching, and as it does, it is pushing galaxies apart, accelerating toward an end where no light, no matter, and no energy remain. Yet, in the face of this overwhelming inevitability, there is a paradox. The knowledge of the universe's eventual demise only seems to make life more precious. Our existence, brief and fragile as it is, becomes more meaningful because it is finite, because it is a fleeting moment in the vast cosmic timeline. This paradox has been a subject of philosophical inquiry for millennia. The impermanence of life, the awareness that everything we cherish will eventually disappear, forces us to confront the central question of what it means to live. How do we find meaning in a universe that is indifferent to our existence? A universe that will one day be empty, cold, and devoid of all life? The answer, perhaps, lies in the very nature of impermanence itself. It is the transient nature of life that makes it so profound. The fleeting moments we experience, our joys, our loves, our discoveries, are all the more precious because they are temporary. The universe, vast and indifferent though it may be, offers us a canvas on which we can paint the story of our lives. The forces that drive the cosmos, dark energy, gravity, the laws of physics, are beyond our control. They shape the universe in ways we can barely comprehend, and they will ultimately determine its fate. But within this grand cosmic drama, we have the ability to make choices, to shape our own story, and to find meaning in our own existence. The knowledge that everything is temporary does not diminish the beauty of life. It enhances it. Every moment becomes an opportunity to find meaning, to create something lasting, to experience the wonders of the universe in our own way. And yet, the knowledge of the universe's eventual demise can feel overwhelming. How do we reconcile the beauty of existence with the cold inevitability of cosmic decay? How do we find peace in a universe that seems to be moving toward an end? The answer, perhaps, lies in embracing the uncertainty of the future and living fully in the present. We cannot control the forces that are shaping the universe, but we can control how we respond to them. We can choose to live with purpose, to seek out the beauty in the world around us, and to appreciate the fleeting nature of our existence. It is in this acceptance of impermanence that we find the key to understanding the true nature of the universe. The stars may burn out, the galaxies may drift apart, and the universe may stretch toward a cold, empty void, but in the meantime we are here. We are alive, and we have the ability to experience the wonders of existence. The fleeting nature of life does not make it less meaningful, it makes it more profound. Each moment is a precious gift, a chance to connect, to explore, to create, and to discover. It is this recognition that, despite the inevitability of cosmic decline, we still have the ability to shape our lives and our world that gives us hope. The universe may be expanding at an accelerating rate, but this expansion does not have to be a source of despair. On the contrary, it is a reminder that everything in the universe is in a state of flux. The stars are not static. They are born, they live, and they die. Galaxies collide, merge, and break apart. And within this ever-changing cosmos, we too are part of the story. Our lives, though brief, are an integral part of the unfolding drama of the universe. The knowledge that we are part of this vast, ever-changing expanse gives our lives meaning, not because we can stop the inevitable, but because we can live fully in the time we have. This understanding of the universe's impermanence allows us to approach life with a new perspective. Rather than focusing on the inevitability of cosmic decline, we can embrace the beauty of the present moment. We can appreciate the stars while they shine, marvel at the galaxies while they are whole, and savor the fleeting beauty of life while we are here. It is this ability to find meaning in the moment that gives us the strength to face the uncertainty of the future. In the end, the fate of the universe may be beyond our control, but our ability to experience the world, to find meaning, and to create something that endures is not. The forces of dark energy may be pushing the universe toward an eventual end, but in the meantime, we have the opportunity to shape our own destiny. The knowledge that everything is temporary only serves to deepen our appreciation for the moments we have, for the connections we make, and for the beauty that surrounds us. Perhaps the most profound lesson we can learn from the expanding universe is that the value of life lies not in its duration, but in its quality. The stars may burn out, the galaxies may drift apart, and the universe may stretch toward an infinite, empty void, but the beauty of life is found in the experiences we have, the love we share, and the knowledge we uncover. It is in the brief moments of light that we find the greatest meaning. And though the universe may eventually be swallowed by darkness, the light we create, through our connections, our discoveries, and our creations, will continue to shine, however briefly, in the vastness of the cosmos. In the end, it is not the end of the universe that matters, but the journey. The fact that the universe is expanding toward an uncertain future is a reminder that nothing is permanent, that everything is in motion, and that every moment is a chance to experience something meaningful. We may be small in the grand scheme of things, but in our lives, in the way we live, we have the power to shape our own story. The universe may be vast, but in the time we are here, we have the ability to find meaning, to create beauty, and to live fully, knowing that every fleeting moment is a part of the grand cosmic narrative. As we continue to grapple with the immense implications of dark energy and the ever-expanding universe, we begin to see that the questions we face are not just scientific in nature, they are deeply existential. What does it mean to be human in a universe that is so vast, so indifferent to our existence, and so destined for decay? How do we reconcile the beauty of life with the inevitability of cosmic death? These are not just theoretical questions. They are questions that challenge the very core of who we are and how we live our lives. In the grand expanse of space and time, our individual lives are but a fleeting moment, a brief flicker in the cosmic timeline. Yet, it is precisely this brevity that gives life its profound meaning. The universe may be stretching, the galaxies may be drifting apart, and the stars may be burning out, but in this moment we are here. We are alive, capable of experiencing the wonder and beauty of existence. The knowledge of the universe's eventual end does not diminish the value of life, it amplifies it. We are reminded that the time we have, however short, is a precious gift, a chance to live, to love, to create, and to explore. It is easy to fall into despair when we consider the vastness of the universe and the overwhelming forces that govern it. Dark energy, the mysterious force pushing the universe apart, seems unstoppable, and the cold, distant future it points to is unsettling. But there is also something liberating about this knowledge. If we accept that the universe will not last forever, that all things are in a constant state of change, we are free to live without the burden of eternity. We are free to embrace the impermanence of life and to focus on what matters in the here and now. It is not the length of time that defines our existence, but the depth of experience and the quality of the connections we make. The awareness of the universe's inevitable decline calls us to live with urgency, to embrace every moment, and to recognize that the impact we have on the world, on those around us, and on the future, is more meaningful because it is limited. The universe may be expanding toward an eventual, cold, dark fate, but in the meantime, we have the opportunity to shape our lives, to contribute to the unfolding story of the cosmos. The stars may burn out, the galaxies may drift apart, but while we are here, we have the ability to create meaning, to love, and to explore. The forces of dark energy may be beyond our control, but the way we respond to them is within our power. We cannot stop the expansion of the universe, but we can choose how we live in it. We can choose to make the most of the time we have, to seek out knowledge, to build relationships, to create art, and to make a positive impact on the world. Every act of kindness, every moment of discovery, every experience of joy is a small rebellion against the forces of decay. It is a way of asserting our existence, of making our mark on the universe, however small it may be. It is in the face of this vast, indifferent universe that we discover the true power of human agency. We may be small in the grand scheme of things, but we are not powerless. We have the ability to shape our lives, to seek meaning, and to create something lasting. The knowledge that the universe is expanding and that dark energy is driving it toward an uncertain end forces us to confront our mortality, but it also challenges us to live fully. The universe may be indifferent, but we are not. We are capable of experiencing love, joy, wonder, and connection, and it is in these experiences that we find the true meaning of life. The universe may not care about our individual lives, but that does not mean our lives are without meaning. The meaning we find is not imposed by the cosmos. It is something we create, something we choose. In a universe that is expanding toward its end, we are free to define our own purpose, to shape our own narrative. The stars may burn out, but the light we create in our lives, through our actions, our love, and our creativity, will continue to shine. It may be brief, but it is meaningful. In the end, it is not the fate of the universe that defines us. It is how we live in the face of that fate. The knowledge that the universe is expanding, that dark energy is pushing everything apart, does not diminish the beauty of existence. It reminds us of how precious life is, how fleeting it is, and how much it matters. We are here for only a moment, but in that moment, we can choose to live with purpose, to seek meaning, and to create something that will endure beyond us. The universe may be indifferent, but we are not. We are not passive observers of the cosmic drama. We are active participants. The knowledge that everything will one day fade into darkness gives us the opportunity to embrace the fleeting beauty of existence, to create something that will outlast us, to find meaning in the present moment. In the face of an expanding universe, we have the power to live fully, to make the most of the time we have, and to leave a lasting impact on the world. As the universe expands and the galaxies drift apart, we are reminded that nothing lasts forever. The stars will die, the galaxies will vanish into the void, and eventually the universe will be a cold, empty place. But that does not mean that our lives are without meaning. In the brief time we have, we can make a difference. We can choose to live with purpose, to seek out the beauty in the world, and to create something lasting. The universe may be stretching toward an inevitable end, but in the time we have, we can make our mark. We can live fully, love deeply, and find meaning in the fleeting moments that make up our existence. The ultimate fate of the universe may be sealed, but that does not change the fact that we are here now. And it is in this moment, in the face of the unknown, that we find our true purpose. The knowledge of the universe's expansion and eventual demise does not diminish our lives. It enhances them. It forces us to live with urgency, to embrace the beauty of the present, and to find meaning in the fleeting moments we have. In the end, it is not the universe's fate that matters. It is how we live, how we love, and how we create meaning in the time we are given. And that, in the end, is what gives life its true beauty. As we venture deeper into the realms of the cosmos, the knowledge of its expansion and inevitable decline pushes us to confront not only the vastness of the universe but the fragility of our own existence. The concept of dark energy, the mysterious force accelerating the universe's expansion, is both unsettling and awe-inspiring. It forces us to ask profound questions. What does it mean to exist in such a universe? If everything we know, everything we love, is doomed to eventually fade away, what, then, is the purpose of our lives? How do we reconcile the beauty and complexity of the world around us with the chilling reality that all things, from the tiniest particle to the largest galaxy, will one day be consumed by darkness? Despite the cold, indifferent forces that drive the universe, there is a sense of power and beauty in our ability to reflect upon it. We are not passive beings helplessly drifting through the cosmos. We are, instead, conscious creatures capable of thought, creativity, and understanding. The universe may be vast and unknowable, but we have the ability to seek meaning within it, to ask questions, to explore, and to find our own place in the great expanse. The stars that shine in the night sky, the galaxies that swirl in distant corners of space, are not mere points of light in an empty void. They are symbols of something much greater. A universe that is constantly changing, constantly evolving, and yet, at the same time, a universe that is indifferent to our existence. This paradox, the beauty and awe of existence set against the knowledge of its eventual end, shapes the way we approach life. It is easy to become overwhelmed by the vastness of the universe, to feel insignificant in the face of such immense forces. But perhaps it is in the very recognition of our own impermanence that we find the true beauty of life. Our time on this planet, in this universe, is fleeting, and that fleetingness is what makes it so precious. If we lived forever, if we were immune to the forces of decay, would we truly appreciate the beauty of the present? Would we value the relationships we form, the discoveries we make, and the experiences we have? The universe, in its unrelenting expansion, offers us a profound lesson in impermanence. Everything, from the stars to the galaxies, is constantly moving, changing, and evolving. This sense of transience is not a cause for despair but rather a call to embrace the present moment, to live fully, and to create meaning in the time we are given. Every act of kindness, every moment of joy, every discovery we make, is an affirmation of life. These fleeting moments are what give life its meaning. The universe may be stretching toward its end, but within the vastness of time and space, we have the ability to make our lives matter. It is easy to focus on the inevitable, on the eventual decay of the universe, the distant collapse of stars, the cold emptiness that will one day engulf everything we know. But perhaps the true meaning of life lies not in the inevitability of the end but in the richness of the journey. The universe may be expanding toward a cold and distant future, but in the meantime we are here. We are alive, and that is a gift. The very fact that we exist, that we are capable of experiencing love, wonder, and curiosity, is what makes life so extraordinary. The knowledge that the universe is expanding, that dark energy is pushing everything apart, reminds us that we cannot take life for granted. The forces of the cosmos are indifferent to our existence, but it is precisely because of this indifference that we must find our own meaning. The universe may be vast, but it is in the moments we share, the connections we form, and the things we create that we find true purpose. The stars may die, the galaxies may drift apart, and the universe may stretch into a void, but the impact we have on each other, on the world, and on the future is something that transcends time. We cannot control the forces that are driving the universe. We cannot stop the expansion of space, nor can we prevent the eventual end of all things. But we can choose how we respond to these forces. We can choose to live with purpose, to seek meaning in our lives, and to create something lasting. The universe may be indifferent to our existence, but in our brief moment in time, we have the power to shape our own destiny. Our lives may be small in the grand timeline of the cosmos, but they are not without significance. The choices we make, the love we give, the knowledge we uncover, and the beauty we create all contribute to the tapestry of the universe. The universe may stretch into a cold, dark future, but we are not powerless in the face of it. We have the ability to shape our lives, to find meaning, and to create something that will endure. The knowledge that the universe will one day be devoid of light, life, and matter does not make our lives meaningless. It gives them urgency. The time we have, however short it may be, is precious. It is in these moments, in the choices we make and the actions we take, that we find our true purpose. In the end, the universe may be expanding toward its inevitable conclusion, but the beauty of life lies not in its permanence but in its impermanence. The stars will burn out, the galaxies will drift apart, and the universe will stretch into an eternal void. But in the meantime we are here. We are alive, and we have the capacity to create meaning, to love, and to explore. The knowledge of the universe's expansion and eventual demise should not lead us to despair but to a deeper appreciation for the time we have. Every moment is a gift. Every experience is an opportunity to find meaning. And in the fleeting nature of life, we discover the true beauty of existence. Our time is short, but it is enough. In the grand expanse of the universe, we may be but a brief moment, a fleeting spark in the darkness. But in that moment we can make a difference. We can live with purpose, create with passion, and love with all our hearts. And in doing so, we add our own story to the vast, unfolding narrative of the cosmos. A story that, though brief, is as meaningful as the stars themselves. The universe may stretch toward a dark and uncertain future, but in our brief moment, we have the power to shine. As we move deeper into the narrative of our existence within the universe, we must face one of the most profound and unsettling realizations. The forces that drive the cosmos are not in our control, and yet they shape every aspect of our lives. Dark energy, the mysterious force propelling the accelerated expansion of the universe, is a reminder that the universe operates according to laws far beyond our understanding and far beyond our ability to influence. Yet, it is precisely in this realization that we find the most human of all responses: curiosity. Even in the face of our seemingly small existence, we yearn to understand, to explore, and to make sense of a universe that is both indifferent and awe-inspiring. The recognition that we are powerless in the face of the grand cosmic forces does not diminish our desire to learn. In fact, it seems to enhance it. We may never be able to stop the universe's expansion, nor can we halt the inevitable cooling of the cosmos, but we are driven by a deep-seated need to understand our place within it. This pursuit of knowledge, this quest to comprehend the universe, is a defining characteristic of humanity. We are explorers, not just of the physical world around us, but of the very fabric of reality itself. The more we learn about the universe, the more we uncover its mysteries, the more we are reminded of the fragility and impermanence of life. At the heart of this search for understanding lies a paradox. The more we know, the more we realize how little we truly understand. For every breakthrough in our understanding of dark energy, for every discovery about the nature of space and time, we are confronted with an even greater mystery. The universe, as vast and incomprehensible as it is, seems to have no end to its secrets. And yet, it is this very mystery that fuels our curiosity. In the face of an expanding universe and the endless unknowns of dark energy, we are driven not to despair but to wonder. The more we uncover, the more we want to know. It is this unrelenting desire for knowledge that pushes us forward, that keeps us searching, even in the face of the unknowable. The question of why we exist, why the universe exists, is one that has haunted humanity for centuries. The ancient philosophers, the scientists of the Enlightenment, and the thinkers of the modern era have all grappled with this fundamental question. What is the purpose of our lives in a universe that is so vast, so indifferent, and so transient? Are we merely accidents of cosmic forces, or is there some deeper meaning to our existence? Perhaps the answer lies not in the destination, but in the journey itself. The universe may be expanding, the stars may be burning out, and everything may be hurtling toward an inevitable end, but in the meantime, we have the privilege of being alive, of being aware, of seeking understanding. The beauty of existence is not in its permanence, but in its fleeting nature. The knowledge that everything we know will eventually fade into darkness is not a source of despair. It is a reminder to make the most of the time we have. In the context of an expanding universe, our lives take on a unique and profound significance. We may be small in the grand timeline of the cosmos, but within the brief span of our existence, we have the opportunity to create meaning, to make a difference, and to explore the very fabric of reality. The knowledge that the universe is slowly stretching toward an end does not rob life of its beauty, it enhances it. It forces us to appreciate the present moment, to find joy in the small things, and to seek out the mysteries that surround us. In a universe that is destined to fade into nothingness, every discovery, every relationship, every act of creation becomes all the more precious. It is easy to feel insignificant when faced with the vastness of the universe. The stars are so distant, the galaxies so far apart, and the forces that drive them so powerful, that it is hard to imagine that we have any meaningful place in the grand scheme of things. But in reality, it is our very awareness of this vastness that gives us the ability to create meaning. Our lives may be fleeting, but in the time we have, we can shape our own stories. We can explore the unknown, seek out beauty, and leave a legacy that transcends the limits of time. The universe may be indifferent to our existence, but that does not mean our lives are without purpose. The quest for understanding, the pursuit of knowledge, and the search for meaning are what give life its richness. The fact that the universe is expanding, that dark energy is pushing it toward a cold and empty future, does not diminish our capacity for joy, love, and discovery. In fact, it may be the very impermanence of the universe that makes our lives all the more meaningful. Each moment is a fleeting opportunity to experience something extraordinary, to connect with others, and to contribute to the ongoing story of the cosmos. As we reflect on the vastness of the universe, we are reminded of the importance of our own story. The stars may die, the galaxies may drift apart, and the universe may stretch into the void, but in the time we are given, we have the ability to live fully. The knowledge that everything is temporary, the stars, the galaxies, even the universe itself, does not make life any less valuable. On the contrary, it makes it more valuable. The fleeting nature of existence gives us the freedom to live without the burden of eternity, to find meaning in the present moment, and to create something beautiful that will outlast us. The universe, with all its vastness, teaches us that nothing is permanent. The galaxies may collide, the stars may burn out, and the universe will eventually stretch into a cold, dark void. But within this cosmic dance, we find the most human of experiences, the ability to create, to love, to explore, and to seek understanding. The universe may be indifferent to our existence, but that does not mean our lives are insignificant. It is in our capacity to ask questions, to wonder, and to search for meaning that we find our true place in the cosmos. The expansion of the universe, driven by dark energy, is a reminder of the transience of all things. It is a call to live fully, to appreciate the fleeting moments of beauty and connection, and to seek understanding in the face of the unknown. The universe may be vast, but in the time we are given, we have the ability to make a difference. The knowledge of its expansion and of its eventual end does not diminish the significance of our lives. It enhances it. In a universe that is constantly changing, we have the opportunity to shape our own destiny, to create meaning, and to find beauty in the impermanence of all things.